Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, do I keep my phone on Do Not Disturb during the show? Because people just be calling me, knowing damn well exactly what I'm doing.
Mhm.
All right, here we go. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Views and Views, week 5. We are live. Germ So True, Mo Schefter. The Godfather is in studio, and he will be making his appearances accordingly. We have a great show for y'all today. We got a couple really good games to talk about. We got some topics to discuss, and we have a pretty fascinating quarterback trivia segment to get into. That should be a lot of fun. Germ So True. I'm gonna share these links. Talk to the people. How you feeling?
So, everything's going pretty good as planned. Life is good. Um, Good morning to everybody out there. Hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody's feeling good. Most importantly, y'all, I just hope that y'all, out there getting some money and enjoying life and your families and stuff like that. Um, nothing but the up and up on this side of the 22.
Hey, I couldn't have said it better myself. One of the things that I've always adapted um, the concept of gratitude from like my whole life. I think I would like to think I've done a pretty good job at being grateful. This year, it took a next step, and it's because of Jameis Winston. Yeah, I want to talk all this stuff about Jameis. That man said gratitude is abundance, which is a bar, first of all. And second of all, there's so many layers to it as far as it could be way worse as far as counting your blessings, as far as just being appreciative for what's around you and those around you. And I think so many times in society we get so caught up in the negatives, we forget to focus on the positives. And that's why for some people things don't always add up. And well, because in a math equation, for things to add up, you got to count your positives. So, um, Germ So True, we're gonna do a little warm up here as we get into it and as I'm sharing the links. So AJ Brown, oh no, we're gonna leave that for Philly. Let's get into the Russell Wilson thing. Let's get into the Russell Wilson thing. Let's just dive right into it off of the deep end. The conversation has been centered ever since he's got benched as to whether he's a Hall of Famer or not. And everybody's talking about this and that and criteria and what he did with the Legion of Boom versus what he did without the Legion of Boom and his stats and all that. And the one thing I always say is when we talk about quarterbacks, really any skill positions this era, it's hard to just bring up stats. In any sports conversation, if stats is your sole argument, then you stepping into the wrong conversation, especially with us. So that's one thing that I think is sort of a how much weight are you putting into that? And so it led me to ask a certain question, which is, and Jay, if you want to jump in here, by all means, feel free because we would love to hear your perspective on this. When it comes to Hall of Fame qualifications, A, if you want to give me your criteria, by all means, feel free. B, do you value more the longevity of the player, or do you value more the peak of the player? And there are certain players that like Frank Gore, he never really had a peak, but he had longevity. On the flip side, there's guys like Sterling Sharp, Terrell Davis, who are in the Hall of Fame, and basically their entire career was a peak because they only played for so long. Megatron, he didn't have the longevity. Same with Barry Sanders, but they had a peak. They had certain production, and I think Russell Wilson, for some people, are at least in my opinion, they should, if they want to argue in favor of him being in the Hall of Fame, they should look at his peak. But the problem with his peak is it was from 2015 to like 2018, 2019. So even his peak wasn't quite as long as some of these guys with shorter careers. So, fellas, I'm gonna open up the floor. First conversation of the day: NFL Hall of Fame. Do you weigh more about peak or about longevity?
Balance. I think a balance is, I mean, because it can go either way. One thing I think that like this is a common mistake when you're talking Hall of Fame across sports. This shit is not a monolith. It's not going to be the same weight for every player. It's going to be differences. It's going one player could be on a great player on a bad team for his whole career, i.e., Joe Thomas. He was a
Oh,
Cleveland Brown his entire career, but he was a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer. Go look at his accolades. If you don't trust the accolades, he was on some bullshit about that, go watch his film. That's the first ballot Hall of Fame. Rob Gronkowski, short window, dynamite impact as far as accolades, statistics, the whole everything. I saw, actually, it was something that was brought to my attention earlier this week that Brady and Manning had a sit down over who would like be Mount Rushmore wide receivers. And Tom was lobbying for Gronk, a tight end, to be a part of that mix. I got to sit down and find that conversation. Shout out to my man, Greg Gaston, host of the morning show that I produce on Sports 56. He brought that to my attention last week. But it's a balance, man. I mean, it depends. Now, we talking Russell Wilson. Okay, he didn't win it. Okay, yeah, he won with the Legion of Boom. But then here's the thing about this sometimes. If the Legion of Boom had been a dynasty, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback because he's a part of the dynasty. A lot like a whole, I get that the times have changed and it's different, but it's a lot like the Steelers of the 70s. You can do
mm,
a walk balloon in the huddle of the defensive huddle of the 1970 Steelers, and if the water balloon would hit 9 Hall of Famers. In any point of the decade, it's
it's
going to hit
true.
80 that's in the Hall. And they're worthy of being in the Hall. They dominated a period. It's a little different when you start talking about Russell Wilson, and also he's a quarterback, so he's got a lot of the criteria to get there, but the back end is kind of like what people will remember. Not quite as extreme, and I pass the germ right after this, but not as quite as extreme. It's kind of like how people view Dwight Howard after Orlando on the basketball side. You would see it in comments on all through social media. How is he a Hall of Famer? I'm like, dude, he was a Hall of Famer just on Orlando resume. His 8 years in Orlando was good enough to get him in the Hall. I can't say the same for Russ as a Seahawk now. And that's not even just without even looking at his resume. I won't even go there, but I don't think it weighs to the same way that it would for Dwight. But I'm not against Russ being a Hall of Fame quarterback either. That's just me personally.
So before you jump in there, Germ, because Ham just broke it down from such a beautiful perspective. Um, the conversation you're referring to, Jay, was called Rushmore's on X, and like I said on the on Friday, shout out to Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. Shout out to the producer as well. Uh, what like I only listen to Happy Hour and player interviews. That to me, I qualified as a player interview because it was the two greatest quarterbacks of our generation. And the way they talked about certain things, A, gave you a great perspective. B, it was like, how are you going to argue? Brady's argument for Gronk was he's the only person that could consistently get open on Revis. And Brady said Revis is the best man corner of this generation. Peyton said, I'm not leaving Marvin Harrison out because everything he did looked exactly the same. So how could you take him out when he was such a route technician and he was always open? So it's really it's worth the watch. We hardly promote other stuff, but that is worth the watch. It's called Rushmore's on X. Good, True.
Just to segue this, I threw that in our group chat.
Did you?
That's in our group chat, bro.
Okay. All right.
So the synergy is never
Yes.
off around here.
There you go. Look at that. There you go.
Because that was thrown in the chat like 3 days ago.
Unbelievable.
I was just like, because I was listening to that and I was just like, the details, the nuances that they were talking about was elite stuff. Like it's not. I don't say elite stuff as if it's not that, but just for the way that they were talking about each position and how these guys got open, how these guys did certain things, and why the Gronk situation is so funny is because you're talking about what an 18-year career. You got 4 Super Bowls in that time, but we got some of Gronk's best work was taken away from him because they couldn't tackle the mug. So they had to go at his knees. I want y'all to understand, Rob Gronkowski in the AFC Championship game the second time around when they went up against the Ravens, and Pollard basically almost ripped his ankle apart. That's another situation where that's a big part of why they maybe didn't win that Super Bowl.
100%.
I mean, 100%. I'm not trying to sit here and give excuses and do all this other extra lobbying for other things, but now we bring this to the Hall of Fame conversation. Ham said it beautifully when he said a mixture, right? Because it has to be a mixture. See, because longevity alone means that it's certain people's like Tom who played for 20 plus seasons and people like that. But if that's the case, let's talk about Vinny Testaverde. Why isn't he on the Vinny Testaverde had a better quarterback career than some of y'all favorite quarterbacks if we talk about longevity. Because he lasted and he stood the test of time from a couple different decades. Like Ham's laughing though, but when you think about it from that perspective, you can argue that this Vinny Testaverde had a Hall of Fame career just based off of the longevity aspect of things.
Let me touch you real quick, Jimmy. I can tell you exactly why Testaverde don't get the love. And I told our boy Coach Les this about a month or so ago. It's all because of the late great Fight Dog from A Tribe Called Quest. If Fight Dog puts you in the bar, it's a wrap. Come down, watch the birdie. Your styles are incomplete, same as Vinny Testaverde.
Yeah, dog. Oh my God.
Hey,
so we're gonna blame A Tribe Called Quest for Vinny Testaverde? That's what we doing.
Hey, listen.
You said that about Tampa, Vinny Testaverde, and that lets you know how long Vinny been around. Vinny was with the creamsicle orange uniforms. Well, they were like real terrible.
Yeah, that wasn't a throwback for him. That was the real uniform. So Vinny played for Tampa from 87 to 92, Cleveland from 93 to 95, Baltimore from 96 to 97, the Jets from 98 to 2003, and then he went Dallas, Jets, Patriots, Panthers, and retired after the 2007 season. 20 years of straight playing. Whenever they needed him to play, he was available.
And then you got to also remember with Vinny too, his last college game, Heisman Trophy winner, but his last college game, he had 5 picks in the national championship game.
Yeah. Yep. Good point. Great point.
No, listen, wait to tie that in there, Ham. Hey.
That's how we got Ham, baby. That's how we need Ham.
But you see like how we got 20 years of a player being consistent and doing what he can do. Yeah. That consistency should mean more than 5 or 6 good years, right? And because we're not talking about anything other than, did this 5 or 6 years produce a Super Bowl, multiple Super Bowl appearances, or something of that, so something of that magnitude. But if Russell Wilson is a Hall of Famer, if Jimmy G puts in 3 more good seasons, is Jimmy G a Hall of Famer?
No.
I'm not. I'm not asking a question for people to answer it,
Oh my
but it's the
God.
rhetorical question of Jimmy G did go to Super Bowls in 2 of his first 3 years as a starter,
Well, I
and he
think
led a team in
I
which
think in that Dial-It Back era to Jim Plunkett, who not only played in 2 Super Bowls, he won 2 Super Bowls
right.
as a starter.
Yeah.
And but Snake Stabler, who's got worse numbers, with 1 Super Bowl, also a Raider, but he was a more popular Raider. He had a little bit more of a personality to go with it. Versus Jim Plunkett, who was just kind of like, yeah, well, he's a tough motherfucker, but just kind of whatever.
Yeah.
They don't regard him in that same light. But it's like, but you go look at his numbers. His numbers are better than Snake's. He's got more championships than Snake does. So, but Snake is the more beloved personality. Personality definitely plays a part into that and how people feel about you, because I think that's a large part of like Lynn Swan and Franco Harris. They were a part of that group, but then Franco, okay, I can vouch for Lynn Swan. Highlights a couple of catches. Go look at his numbers. It's like he got in before Drew Pearson. For real? Damn, he got in before Andre Reed. All right.
Yes. Yeah. That's a great point. That's a great point.
So with that being said, though, I think the Hall of Fame is subjective, and I think it's a popularity contest. So I think it really doesn't matter what we think or what we put out there. I think it comes down to who you like, because you can't tell me that there is 5 receivers in the history of this game better than Terrell Owens, and it took us how long to get him in there because of he was the team obliterator, quote unquote, written by one journalist. Like, come on, bro, we gotta really start to dial this back and pull back the layers of the bull jive here, because we're not making sense of this. If you
Mm.
want to talk about players impact on the game. Impact should be that. It should be a certain criteria. It should be a four or five thing type of situation where it's impact, stats, longevity, let's just say accolades and team success. If you put those 5 things on a thing on there, I bet you half of the Hall of Fame in this particular league would be out of there. I'm not saying that because I don't like the Hall of Fame or anything like that. I'm saying because some of these guys, it's just they did it before somebody else came and did it better.
Yeah. That,
I like what you said in regard to the popularity contest, because that is a part of it. My reply to that is that slow motherfuckers ain't popular. You gotta be pretty damn, good to give, to get the consideration. You know what I'm saying? So
Yo, get this
oh
man.
my God, yo. So obviously a lot of people, and we're gonna wrap this up right here. Obviously, a lot of people bring up the Russell Wilson thing in terms of Eli. And the thing about Eli is, like Jerm said, number one, you got a popularity thing going, the media, the Manning family. Number two, he beat Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl, including the 18-0 season. So those
Subjective.
two things are going to weigh heavily for Eli. It's hard to have a true objective conversation about Russell and Eli Hall of Fame credentials because, like Jern just said, it's subjective. The one thing I will say about Russ is he never had a 4,500-yard season ever in his career. Now he did have a 40 touchdown season, and a 35 touchdown season, and a 34 touchdown season, but he never had a 4,500-yard season. And in this era, Matt Ryan has done it 7 times. We're not gonna even bring up Breeze, Brady, and Manning. Rivers done it 5 times. Goff has done it 4 times. Mahomes already done it 4 times. Stafford 4 times. Stafford also has a 5,000-yard season. So does Eli. Herbert's done it. Burrow's done it. Prescott's done it. Kirk Cousins has done it. Um, Baker did it once. Tua did it once. Derek Carr did it once. You know,
Shrinks it a little bit when you think about it.
right? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So to me, my short answer after everything the two of y'all so eloquently just elaborated and detailed, my short answer: if he does get in, okay, but no, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. Yep, yep. If he
I
does
get
get in, okay, but I don't think he's a Hall of Famer.
it.
Simple as that. Um, so we're gonna leave it right here. I'm gonna go with the flow. I'm gonna just go with the flow. Since we're talking about quarterbacks, since we're talking about certain players, let's get to the trivia, fellas. Are we ready? Because, like I said, these games we're gonna be out of here probably by 12 o'clock today. Just so y'all know. Um, can you name the top 10 quarterbacks in NFL history with the most 100-yard rushing games in their career? The most 100-yard rushing games in their career. To qualify for this list, the minimum is 3 times. Let's get some names going.
You said 3 times. Wait, qualify for this is 3 times what?
Like they did it 3 times or more. They have more than 3 games. They have 3 or more games with 100-yard rushing.
Oh,
Let's go. Let's start the party off right with number 7 down in Atlanta.
Yes. Michael
okay.
Vick, definitely on
Wait,
this
wait,
list.
wait. Before you go next, Joe Montana.
No,
He's not on this list. Okay.
he's not on this
Go ahead,
list.
Ham. Okay.
Batting second will be what's that? 3-time MVP number 8 in Baltimore.
He is number 1 on this list.
The host of 4th and 1. I think he will make the list.
Yes, he is. Cam Newton is on this list. Germ,
Soup guy.
who?
The chunky soup guy. Donovan.
How did you get that? That's to me is like the
McNabb used to scramble when he was young, dog.
he did.
Young Donovan used to be on the move. Before he started getting sports hurties and shit, he was on the move.
We gonna seesaw. Germ.
Okay.
So we got Ham said Vic, Lamar, Cam, McNabb.
I know one term ain't thinking. I'm gonna hold him too. I'm going back to old NFL Sunday countdown mornings back in the 90s with mine.
I'm gonna say, what about Steve McNair?
Not on this list.
Okay.
I was about there too. Damn, I was going there.
Good guess. Not on this list.
Um,
I'm gonna give you a
Steve
hint.
Young.
He's not on this list. I'm gonna give you one more guess since Jay named 4, and then we can go back to Jay. I'm gonna give you a hint. It's a Hove bar. Heart of the city. It's heart of the city, right? Yeah, heart of the city.
I'm still really about
I gotta go. I'm going off the whole song now. You gotta know. That was terrible to give me that.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The legendary bar was the Jackie Robinson bar. That's the one that stuck with me all this year.
Yeah, we gotta wake Jerem up earlier on Sundays, let his brain get warmed up, you know.
Wait, hold on. Oh my God. Go ahead and just say the name. Go ahead.
The only thing running is numbers, fam. I scramble like. Go ahead, Jay.
My uncle, Randall.
Yes, sir. Randall Cunningham.
Oh man. No. All right, go ahead.
All right, so we got Vic, Lamar, Cam, McNabb, Randall. That's 5. But that's 5. That's tier 1. You get to 8, that's tier 2. You get to 10, that's impossible. But go ahead.
I'm guessing with this one. Slash Stewart.
Not good guess. Not on this list.
Ah,
Good guess.
Aaron
Not on this
Brooks.
list. Not on this list.
okay.
There's technically there's two active players left on this list.
One of them is MVP Josh Allen.
Yes, sir.
That's crazy. That is insane.
You said the other one's active too?
The other one is technically an active player. Yes.
Aaron Rodgers.
No, close. No. He's not starting at the moment.
No, not RG3. Uh, uh,
So okay, so we got Vic, Cam, Lamar, McNabb, Randall, Josh. That's 6. All right, so we're missing. Actually, so you said Josh Allen. Yeah, there's 2 active players left, and one of them is a starter, and they were both teammates last year. Woo!
One of those.
Russell Wilson is one of them. Russell is actually 4th. He's done it 4 times.
Goddamn Justin Fields.
Justin Fields has 5 100-yard rushings. Justin Fields is number 3 on this list with 5 games of 100 yards rushing or more.
You said it's all time, right?
This is basically all time, but all these guys played post-merger. Well, one of them is he started his career before the merger, but he played the majority of his career in the merger.
What about Norman Van Brock?
Great guess. No.
NFL films. Take me back here.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Van Brock didn't make the list.
No. I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give you a couple hints, okay? The one guy has the same last name as somebody who played Batman in one of the movies. All right, so you got Batman, Batman Forever, Batman Returns, Batman and Robin, The Dark Knight Rises, and yeah, and Batman Begins. And then the other one, sorry, go ahead.
That eliminates Fred Tarkenton, I guess.
Yeah. And well, the other one actually played for the Chicago Bears in the 70s, I want to say. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a tough one though. I honestly, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I knew them.
You talking about Bobby Douglas?
Bobby Douglas.
That's an NFL Films, baby.
Bobby Douglas, dog.
I saw
Bobby Douglas.
What dual threat scrambler? Yeah, I remember seeing that.
And then Ty Love just gave us the
That was lucky.
Bro, that's a great guess. Though I was like, wait, what? And now Ty Love has given the last name in the comment section in Billy Kilmer. So those are 2 names. I was like, wait, what? Are you for? Is this real?
Who?
Billy Kilmer. I know. I was like, who? Apparently he started his career in 1961 with the San Francisco Oilers, I'm assuming, not the 49ers. But yeah, anyway, so that's let's Bobby Douglas, Billy Kilmer.
That dude pre-color TVs, man.
Dog. But the top 8 in order is Lamar's done it 14 times. Vic's done it 10 times. Justin Fields 5 times. Russell Wilson 4 times. And then Cam Cunningham, Josh Allen, Bobby Kilmer, and McNabb all have done it 3 times in their NFL career. So just a fun little trivia.
Yeah, that's a good question there, man. I like that one.
So I found this little thing that gives you these, and I'm going to try to do it more throughout the season. What I'll do is like when I find it, I'll put in my answers so I could let y'all know how many I got right. And I named 6. After that, it was like, okay, I was mad I didn't get McNabb, and I was mad I didn't get Josh Allen. I actually didn't name Josh Allen. So, anyways, let's get to it. Some injuries to get to, fellas. Anything you want to add before we go move on? All right, let's just dive right into this. We're gonna go rapid fire for the first 3, and then we got a game that we got to discuss a little bit. Miami versus Carolina Panthers, 44.5 is the over-under. 1.5 underdogs are the Panthers at home. No Chuba Hubbard today, which means Rico Dowdle is probably going to be getting the most of the carries for the Carolina Panthers. And for the Miami Dolphins, obviously, no Tyreek Hill, but they do have Darren Waller, who they seem they're going to be incorporating in there. I think if you want to take the over on his parlay line, which is 2.5 receptions, I think that's one of the locks of the week in terms of parlays, especially without Tyreek Hill and with a Panthers defense that's been vulnerable to say the very least. So lean towards Devon Achin with whatever you want to do, rushing and scrimmage, like total scrimmage yards, rushing and receiving. Definitely take Darren Waller for a minimum of 3+ receptions. So you got some parlay guys there. Long story short, I think the Dolphins are going to win this one. Carolina, they play spoilers a lot, but I think the running game of Miami with the combination of Achan and Ollie Gordon should be enough to carry them to win this game. I'm going to go Dolphins 27-24. Germ,
It's really easy for me. Just give me the Dolphins.
Tam, any thoughts?
Yeah, Miami for the win. The game's on Nickelodeon.
All right, next on the docket, you got the Dallas Cowboys versus the New York Jets. We know the story with both of these teams. The Cowboys have a horrific secondary. The defensive line for Dallas is really not bad. They really aren't. And actually, they have a pretty high win rate. The problem is they don't have linebackers to clean up in the run game, and they don't have secondary players that are good enough to cover on the back end. And I don't want to put the entire blame on the secondary because when I watch the film, dog, they play the most basic zones. Like they play a zone coverage if you play in rookie mode on Madden franchise. It is so basic. There's no pattern reading, there's no switching up things, there's no assignments. It's just basic cover 3s, basic cover 4s, basic cover 2s. We are way beyond that in the NFL. If you don't incorporate pattern reading into your scheme, you are light years behind when you step into every matchup you play on Sunday. Parlay wise, I am so tempted to go Justin Fields 200 plus passing yards. That is a very, very good return if he hits over 200 yards, and it's very possible against this team. All that being said, I think the run game of Dallas, I think what he's finding with George Pickens is all going to play itself out through the 60 minutes somehow, some way. I just think the Dallas Cowboys will find a way to beat the awful, undisciplined, putrid New York Jets. Give me the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to go like
Cowboys.
30-29 Dallas.
Cowboys.
Oh, love it. Jay?
Dallas and the over.
Yes. 47.5 is over. Definitely Dallas in the over. Next game we're in the docket, you got the Raiders versus the Colts. Brock Bowers will not be available for this one. Fellas, my humble opinion, Chip Kelly does not belong in the NFL. They spend so much time in the offseason trying to get Ashton Genty to change his stance. For what? For what? For what? It works for him. There's nothing fundamentally flawed about it. He prefers it that way. Just let the man stand in the backfield the way he wants to. You saw what happens when he did it last week. He had a career game. He had his coming out. I'm coming out. Oh, pause. Easy. Woo. Ain't gonna finish that. But hey, he had a good game. So it's always fascinating to me when coaches spend so much time on things that don't actually reflect and things that don't actually matter in terms of the players' production. We talked about it last night, Jerm, with Ronnie and Trav. I'm like, unless like throwing motions, unless the quarterback's arm is literally parallel to the ground in his throwing motion, who cares? As long as there's some sort of C motion and he's comfortable with it and he's producing with it and he's played the first 20 years of his football career, Pee Wee, high school, college, with this throwing motion, why do you care? Why do you want? Wow, because it's not the way you want it to be? No, that's selfish. That's not coaching. So I really don't think Chip Kelly belongs in the NFL. I really don't. All that being said, this Colts team, like I said, they're legit. They got beef. They got a good defense, and whoever's playing quarterback for them, this guy says Daniel Jones is putting great film on display. No Brock Bowers, Geno struggling. Give me the Colts to win this game.
I'm
Germ.
gonna take the Colts as well. Let's run the ball. Run the ball, Bert.
Yeah. Cam.
Took the Colts with the alternative spread of 6.5, but they had it at 7. And I'm like, you chef, give me a half. I need the hook. Don't give me no straight number.
All right, next on the docket, you got the Denver Broncos versus the Philadelphia Broncos. And fellas, AJ Brown been all over the news.
The Philadelphia Eagles.
What did I say?
The Philadelphia Broncos.
Okay, wow.
I
Denver
thought you were trying to
Broncos.
say that was that Spider-Man meme where they was.
Well, it's interesting you say that. Anyways, you got the Denver Broncos, Philadelphia Eagles, 2-2 versus 4-0. Over under is 43.5. That's Vegas for you. They are telling you they think it's going to be a low scoring game. 4.5 plus points for the Broncos. I always feel like if it's somewhere around that line and it's a lower total, lean towards taking the team with the points. That's what I think. But circumstances. AJ Brown. A lot of conversation this week, Twitter, the media, Facebook, about his comments or lack thereof, the tweet he made, the usage, should he be traded? And I'm going to open it up real quick. But the one thing I'll say, and I got in the lab on him earlier this week, and I got in the lab on him last night again. The one thing I will say is if I had to put a singular blame on anybody in terms of what's going on with A.J. Brown at the moment, it's the offensive coordinator. It's not A.J. Brown, and it's not Jalen Hurts. It's the offensive coordinator. It's the play caller. Number one, routes. A.J. Brown is capable of running every single route on the route tree. The problem, from what I'm seeing this year, he's only running hitch routes, slant routes, and go routes. That's it. He's only running 3 very basic routes. So, as a cornerback, from the minute he takes his 1.5 steps, from there, I can already eliminate if he's going to run the slant route. He's not running the slant. Okay, that means I'm either getting a hitch or I'm getting a go. They do a little like 5-yard, 8-yard in route, but it's really just a longer stem to a slant. But that's it. That's it. And you got situations. It's 3rd and 3. The cornerback is 8 yards off of him. It's 3rd and 3, 8 yards off of him, and he's doubled. And you're running a go route, and you're throwing it to him. Ball's landing 6 yards out of bounds. But yeah, we're calling that a target. And that happened 2 or 3 times last week. 3rd and 10, 1-on-1, and you're running a 6-yard hitch with your best receiver. And it took till the 2-minute warning of the second quarter to call an actual play for A.J. Brown. He is your number 1 receiver. How do you think he feels when he gets the game script and the first 15 or the first 25 doesn't have a single play call dialed up for him. Everything else he was doing prior to that was cardio. It was just a bunch of clear out routes, clear out for the high low, clear out for the zone, clear out for this, clear out for that. It was just a bunch of clear out routes that he was running. There was one play where every single receiver you could tell had a route. They all had a route, except for AJ Brown. Why? He's your best receiver. And mind you, the people saying trade him, no, don't trade him because the one thing you do see is his impact. His presence alone is impactful on the defense, influences the coverage. But yet you are not taking advantage of that in any way. I get that Jalen Hurts is not taking risks. I get that. There's pros and cons to that, and we can have that conversation. But when you, as the offensive play caller, as the game planner, are not making it an emphasis to incorporate your number one receiver, that's a problem. That's a problem that needs addressed and addressed quickly because it's not just about AJ Brown. It's about the longevity and the production and the sustainability of this offense that you're trying to build a dynasty of. That's my thoughts. Germ?
I'm not gonna go too much into this because AJ Brown's impact, again, he plays the least most impactful position on the field, which is wide receiver. I will say this though on the other end of that. Finding a receiver that impacts the game on his level is still hard though. And
Yes.
that for the least important position on the field, and I'm saying that on the field. I just think that this is one of the instances where we're showing that ineptability of the offensive coordinators in the league of being able to put your players in a position to win unless there is a narrative behind it. As we are seeing today, Kevin Stefanski put together a game plan for Dylan Gabriel that is conducive for him to be successful so that they can justify therefore him starting. This shows you that every coordinator is possible, has the possibility and the ability to do this. So I'm saying this on national level. These coordinators know what the fuck they're doing when it's time for them to prove a point that pushes a narrative. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is pissing me off. Because this right here is another example of you can make whatever you want to make work as long as you focus on the things that you need to focus on and get those things done. And I'm not going to accept it any other way because it's being showcased right now in London that if a coordinator sits down for 4 days and puts together a game plan, that if they really want it to work, they're going to put it together based around the quarterback skill set.
Bars.
If I'm going to pick a team for this matchup before I hand it to Ham, so you guys can have the floor for it for what I just said, because I know I just probably started something. Again, I'm going to pick the Eagles today again, but I need y'all to start paying attention to certain things like that because I'm paying attention to all of it.
Love it. I love everything you just said, Jay.
To sum it up, to back up what Jerry was just saying, stop playing with his fucking money.
Yeah.
Because that's ultimately what y'all doing with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because see, when you get to the time of like contract with breaking down all of his statistics and things of that nature, he's not getting targeted. Now y'all want to make the justification of, well, we got to cut him, we got to do this. He ain't as productive. Nah, cuz we know what the hell that is. And then we also found this out a few years ago when AD was going through his whole deal in Tampa. Like Jerry was just saying, you coordinators know what the hell y'all doing, man. When cats is due up for bonuses and all this other good fun stuff, implement these dudes in y'all game plan. Give yourself the right chance to win. Stop bullshitting. Okay, yeah, he's supposed to be a team guy, but that's his role on the team. Demand the fucking football.
Yep.
That's what he does. That's why he's there. He's handling it, in my opinion, he's handling it the right way. He ain't going off. He's not popping off on nobody. He's like, look, they don't want me involved. I ain't going to be involved. I'll be ready to go when they're ready, though.
To your point, Jay, I watched the NFL mic'd up when the game was over after the Eagles defense clinched the game. He was dapping up everybody on defense. Like it's not like he's being a bad teammate, you know.
But he still wants his He still wants his productivity in his position.
Yes.
He wants his team to work too.
As he should. Yes, sir.
Bro, if the game is not about the best receivers in the league are about production and making sure that they production and taking away something that the defense can do to stop something else you can do on offense. He does all of those things as an X. He is one of the 4 or 5 people in the league who can play every receiver position, and there will be no drop off in production at whatever.
Facts.
He can play against the fucking press better than some of these bigger guys. He can play at the flanker because he has the short area quickness and the power to overpower people at the same time. And then he can also play in any role that you need, an H-back, any type of thing where he's close to the line of scrimmage because of the way his body is constructed. That lower body, those legs, bro, AJ Brown turns into one of those players that turns into a running back when he gets the ball. So they don't want to put the ball in his hands, and a lot of DBs don't like tackling him. Why wouldn't you want this guy to have the ball? I don't understand. Like, bro, it's getting to the point again where the narratives are not make football make sense again. We used to want to have our best players with the football in their hand. I'd be damned if they did this to Randy Moss, or they did this to Terrell Owens, or they did this to Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice has some of the greatest numbers we've ever seen because Bill Walsh said, get him the damn ball.
Yep.
It wasn't about all of this extra stuff. See, because y'all don't get me cussing up in here, man. This is the stuff I be like. This is the stuff I don't be liking, man, because it's too many politics and too many chefs in the kitchen. Get out of my kitchen, goddammit. Get out the kitchen.
Yeah. See, this ain't the scene where you could have all the chefs in the kitchen and still run efficiently. They're not like us. Shout out to Kendrick. Look, fellas, once again, like
Hibachi.
I don't want to elaborate too much on everything you guys just said because I would just be echoing everything you guys just said, just breaking it down so beautifully. The comment section. Last thing I'll say though, before I get to the comments, you heard Brady and Manning talk about, when we go into the game, I'm making sure we calling plays for Randy. I'm making sure we calling plays for 88 and 87. So there is some onus on Jalen, but we can't speak to the dynamic because we're not in that building. Comment section. Big Shot says they got AJ Brown running screens like Draymond Green, and that's really like you watch the tape, dog. Like they got him being the guy who's doing the rub on a switch concept. Why? Let him do the freaking switch concept. Which it would be fine if he was being inputted consistently into the plan. But when it's the third quarter and you've only targeted him twice and you got him send him the rub, yeah, I'm gonna be pissed off. Tyra Love saying Lad McConkey take notes, possibly. Not quite. Different situation because they're actually calling plays for him. They're putting him in all these different routes. But he's dropped a couple passes, and the emergence of Quentin Johnson has a lot to do with it. Germ?
Lad McConkey is not even in the same conversation. I'm going to tell you one other reason why. The biggest thing is we're talking about body. Lad McConkey is a prototypical flanker or a prototypical slot player.
Yes.
His production was inflated last year. So everybody is so high on him. What I seen when I watched that Giants game last week was I seen man coverage. He has a problem against it, especially guys that can stay in the hip pocket. And if you can stay in the hip pocket and contest him, you will be able to stop him. And these are the things that I'm telling y'all. You gotta stop doing all of this stuff. Y'all not watching the game. Y'all not watching the games. Lord. Not watching the games, Lord.
I'm gonna have to get in the lab and check that out myself because that's very interesting.
Listen, the Giants coverage last week, Mo, was some of the best coverage I have seen in man coverage in the last 5 years.
That's fascinating. I'm gonna definitely get in on that.
The hip pockets of these receivers contesting things, and that is ultimately what the problem is. The Chargers need Mike Williams to not retire. That's the difference in that offense right now is they don't have an X. If they had a true X, they would be better off. They do not have a guy who's going to consistently beat man coverage. Keenan Allen is old. He has the short area quickness, yes, but these young corners that are in this league right now all have short area quickness. They're faster, they're longer, they're all of those different things. Pause. You gotta understand where the game is evolving. And I said this 3, 4 years ago. I said we're gonna have a time where the league has 2, 3 corners on every team that can man up. And when that happens, we're gonna have to find different ways to get guys open. And we're watching the Browns right now suffocate what this Vikings defense is trying, offense is trying to do, because they have 2 guys on the outside that can do what? That can run and that are good in short areas. So that means I can drive on this dig route. I can drive on that out route. Come on, y'all. Let's do it. Come on, man. Let's do this. Is this listen? I do this. I don't know what y'all do, but I do this. Let's go.
Before we move on, excellent point about the difference between Lad McConkey and AJ Brown. We are going to have to table the conversation as to whether Quentin Johnson is a capable X receiver. I'm going to just let y'all know, me and Jerm will have that conversation relatively soon because I haven't labbed him enough to speak on it. The Lad McConkey thing that he's talking about, though, you could take that to the bank because that is spot on with everything you just said. Bo Nix, Ty Love. Bo Nix, I think, has an arm strength issue because a lot of times, and he's got an arm strength issue and a foot issue. A lot of times, instead of climbing in the pocket, he's more running up the pocket, and he's not in a position to throw the football. And it takes him too long and too many steps to reset his feet and fire. If he plays the way he played against the Chargers versus the Eagles today, Eagles might end up with 7 sacks. I am not liking the tape that Bo Nix is producing in his sophomore year. His freshman year, I was able to look at it with optimism because I saw there's room for growth. In the second year, you got to start to bridge that growth, and I'm just not seeing that yet. And that's a bit problematic for me. We're going to move on. I got Philly as well.
Yeah, Philly in the points.
Yeah, okay. I'm going the same way. Next on the docket, you got the New York Giants at the New Orleans Saints. Over-under is 41.5, and it is a +1.5 road dogs for the Giants. Oh, you didn't know? To me, the funny part about this, the Giants started as favorites, but as the week kept creeping up, it changed. This morning, I texted Johnny Ham. I said, I am switching my pick to Saints money line. I told him I'm picking the Giants on the show. Watching it, observing it, looking at certain things, I think a couple things. One, the Saints play much differently at home. 2, they might have found something in their running game finally. But to add to that, they have pretty good skill positions. Olave, Shaheed, Juwan Johnson, and you got Brandon Cooks there as well, who's been reliable. He hasn't been extremely productive, but when they call his number, he's producing. The Giants, I watched the Jackson Dart film, okay? I saw nothing that surprised me. And it was very overhyped and overrated how he performed last week. I saw nothing special in terms of throwing the football. He had a couple nice throws. It's the NFL. You better have some nice throws. He had a couple simple, quick executed plays. It's the NFL. You better be able to do that. I think the way
saw was just get the ball to your skill position players
yes,
and let them do the work.
Yes.
Mo, I'm not to
Go
cut you
ahead.
off.
No, you got it.
Let's just
You
get to
got
the
it. Go
bag.
ahead. You
Jeremy's
got it.
got a
Go.
brand new bag.
Bring it. What's inside? Let's see it.
I'm not gonna listen. We're not gonna sit here and act like Jackson Dart is this good, is this great quarterback. Okay, let's just not do it. Y'all gonna hype up this Dylan Gabriel performance today. So he played so great. He was so efficient. He was so effective. It again. If we want to make a narrative work, there are ways to make narratives work. It doesn't help that the Chargers just didn't play very well, and that Justin Herbert missed some throws, and that man coverage of the Giants was pretty elite. This is the reason why the Saints won't win this game. Sorry, Mom. I'm just gotta let it go. The
No, go with
reason
it,
why the
bro.
Saints won't win this game is because even though they have good skill position players, none of them are what? Quality X receivers. They're going to struggle in third down situations against this team. I think the Giants might be the best defensive team in the league.
It's there.
As far as just personnel, the capability that they're going to have to close out games with the trio of the pass rushers, with Abdul Carter, with Burns, and with the other guy, his name escapes me at the moment. Bro, they have
Thibodeau.
some nasty, yes, they have nasty things going on up there. That's nasty work.
Yes.
And
Sexy
Dexter,
Dexy.
he is up there doing things up there that a fat man shouldn't be able to do. The fat
Bro.
man mumbo jumbo is what we gonna call it. He is up there moving people. Then you got the nerve and audacity to be able to cover on the back end with these corners are sticky. They stick into the receivers, and it's really contesting a lot of throws, bro. The contested throw is a lost art for the corner because these guys are not good at playing in the pocket.
Hip
Playing
pocket.
in that hip pocket is so important because that just makes the windows even tighter, and that makes the throws have to be more precise. And in this NFL, that will shut down a lot of these offenses immediately. Let's get to it. Giants are going to be in every game this year, like we talked about, because of that defense. I just don't think that the Saints have an offense this to be
That's
able to do.
fair.
It's really just last week was just a damn clinic to me on how we need to play man coverage because they kept the game within a reasonable distance to be able to win it. And if you tell me that the Giants, if you score 21 points as a team, if you score 21 points as a team and you're going to be able to win some games just scoring 21 points in this offensive league, you got a damn good defense, man.
Yes.
Giants.
I love it. I love everything you just said because we talked about it before the season. And we tried to tell people this Giants defense has the potential to be the best in the league. We try to tell them, just like we try to tell people about the Seahawks defense. Sometimes people just don't want to listen. And I don't disagree with anything you just said. The only reason I'm going with the Saints is they just play better at home. And Jackson
I got
Dart. Now the thing is, with Jackson Dart, this is kind of like a mini homecoming. He's close enough. So, hey, any thoughts on this game?
Yep, that you just mentioned, it's kind of like the homecoming. Ole Miss was off yesterday. So,
This is
hey, you
true.
never know. Lane Kiffin might be in New Orleans kicking it, watching it on QB or something. I don't know, but I was thinking what you were thinking earlier, Chef, like, the Saints just do generally play better at home. But I'm taking the Giants, man, with the plus 1.5. Let's go the other way with that. Giants for the dub.
See, I
and it's
thought
a and it's a play and what they giving the Saints 1 point and 1.5 at home.
1.5, dog.
Bro, this is a trap.
Yes, it is.
This
Yes,
is
it
a
is.
trap.
Yes, it is. And I'm falling right into it.
Take the one and
Here's
a
a
half then. Oh no. Ham, get off mute. Take the 1.5, Chef. Come on, Chef.
sticking with it. Saints money line. Saints money line. Staying with it, baby. Let's roll. I feel like anyways. Next on the docket, you got the Houston Texans versus the Baltimore Ravens. Here's something, and we're not gonna spend too much time on this. This game opened up with Houston at 7.5 underdogs, and the over-under was 47.5.
Yep.
When Lamar Jackson was declared out, it shifted. They
And
went
now
from
it's
7.5 underdogs to 1.5 favorites,
favorites.
and it went from 47.5 to 40.5, and in some places 41.5, but I saw 40.5. So they are telling you that Lamar is worth a touchdown and some. That's what they're saying to you. I got a lot to say, but I don't want to say too much. Very simple. Very simple. With Cooper Rush starting, this might be the perfect scenario for Derrick Henry to get his mojo back. That's all I'm going to say. That is all that I am going to say. As far as who's going to win this game, I went back and forth a long time on this. The Ravens just have too many injuries, in my opinion, right now. And I'm not even counting the Lamar Jackson injury. Obviously, that's the biggest injury of all. But you got Roquan, Hamilton, the left tackle. I think it's going to be a little too much for them against this defense. I'm going with Houston. I'm staying away from the over/under, but I am leaning towards the under. But give me the Texans to win this game. True.
I was giving y'all the handoff motions and all the Derrick Henry
I knew where you
body
were going with it.
aneurysms and
Mm-hmm.
everything like that. But I'm doing all that for a reason.
Yes, you are.
Because sometimes in life, situations like this occur, and it's really just for God's way to show us the things we already have. And in this situation, this Lamar Jackson injury situation could be a blessing in disguise. Not saying we want Lamar to be hurt, but I'm
Facts.
saying a blessing in disguise, as in we have an abundance of good players on offense, especially a guy that we pay good money that got a 22 on his back. I mean, shout out to the year of 22, baby. But a guy that got this 22 on his back that's pretty damn good at toting that rock. That we keep messing with his mold, man. And we need to stop
Ooh.
messing with his mold and let him get in his mold. Because when he get in his zone, don't let me get in my zone. They're now watching the throne. It kind of start because that's what we're doing right now. Y'all are sabotaging him catching that throne. Because he was gonna break that. He gonna break that rushing record. I'm gonna speak it into existence for him.
Love it.
Derrick Henry is the catalyst for success for the Baltimore Ravens to win a Super Bowl.
Yes.
If he is a 2,500 all-purpose yard guy, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna see great things happen for that team. That is the type of player he is. Please, 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 in my Paul Williams voice from the Temptations, tell me you're going to run the ball. That's all I want. Run the ball, Bert. Yes, we just seen Justin Jefferson show y'all why he's one of the best receivers in the world. It is what it is, but I don't know what number 5 was doing. We just
Yeah.
don't know what he was doing. I don't know what kind of coverage that was, but please throw that in the garbage. With that being said, I'm gonna roll with the Ravens today because I think those big
I
boys
love it. I
oh,
love it.
those big boys up front, those horses up front.
Yeah.
If Baltimore get moving forward, Houston has showed us that they like to go backwards. And
Listen, again, I don't disagree with anything you just said, which is why I wrestled all week with this game, knowing that Lamar wasn't going to play because okay, yeah, he's not there, but matchup wise, there is something available for the Ravens to take advantage of, which is why in one of my parlays, I do have Derrick Henry going for over 100 yards and a touchdown. I was way too tempted. Like they're gonna run a regular offense under center, and he's gonna be able to get a head start, get it in that hole. He hasn't done that in 2 years. He's
And
going to be ready to eat.
Mark Andrews, I believe. I don't think even if Ricard's not back, likely's back. So
Likely is back.
that gives you the two tight end look that offense really is going to thrive in.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why we're not in that type of mode anyway,
Yeah.
considering that's what we do best. We are playing our best football when we have big people on the field, with Lamar being the quickest player on offense and Derrick Henry being the biggest player on offense.
Oh,
Why
for
are we
real
not
though.
doing that more often?
You remember I texted you
Mm-hmm.
about how I'm nervous for the Vikings in this game?
Uh-huh.
Dog, this defensive line for the Browns is so fun. They are so good. And he missed a field goal. They are so good. This defensive line for Cleveland is nothing to play with. Sorry, I'm sorry, but
But
I had to. I'm like, my God.
but remember on draft day again. I got to bring it up every week. We said put in Mason Graham with Myles Garrett
Yeah,
was just not a good idea.
no, it was not.
And
And
then you go along and you start bringing in other players, and the other players factor in, and everybody's playing well.
mhm,
Everybody's healthy. When teams are healthy and everybody's playing well and playing loose, it changes a lot, y'all. Y'all gotta understand. And for all of Myles Garrett, TJ Watt conversations that we've been having over the years, boy, I tell you, these conversations clear themselves up real easy.
mhm.
They clear
Love it.
themselves
I
up
love it.
real easy.
I love it. Hey, many thoughts?
Which game we just on? We was on the Ravens Texans, right?
Yeah, that's my fault. That's my fault. Yeah, Ravens Texans.
Oh, man, I was leaning Houston. I don't know, man.
Dog.
I think I'm not betting on Derrick Henry no more until he gets another 100 yards. He kind of messed me over the past few weeks. And I don't even
Yeah.
bet on him on like yardage. I like to bet on him on the composite receiving and rushing yards. That's what I like to bet on him. I'm staying away from him until he crosses back over. Shout out to Cooper Rush. I didn't even know he was still cashing checks. That's what's
Yep.
up. I'm gonna
He
take the
did.
Ravens.
I love it. Remember, he cashed a lot of Jerry Jones checks last year. Nico Collins, he's coming along. Also keep that in mind. 50, 60 plus receiving yards. Definitely a parlay worth doing. And then Dalton Schultz, 3+ receptions. I like 4+ receptions. He always fails me. Not always, but he has failed me quite often on that.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I just don't. I stay away from the Texans receivers unless it's Nico Collins, because they just don't seem to do nothing, and it's just every week it just be worse and worse.
Yeah,
And yes, I said worse.
I like it.
Jesus.
Speaking of worser, the Tennessee Titans versus the Arizona Cardinals. Over under is 41.5, plus 7.5. This is my weekly public service announcement. Cam Ward is not the problem. I repeat, the
He's not.
Tennessee Titans have 99 problems, and number one ain't one.
Yes.
That is your weekly public service announcement. All that being said, give me the Cardinals to win this game. Sherm?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to bet for Tennessee to do anything because they don't have a 10 that I see. I
Mm,
just, ooh, ooh,
mm,
it's bad. Like it's when I say it's bad, it's bad. They can't even run screen passes properly in this
dog.
offense right now. Like I've never seen a screen pass where everybody's blocking. That's crazy to me. I've never seen how the person who's supposed to catch the ball blocking. That's crazy to me. I ain't never seen that before. Hey, listen, when I seen that, I was like, hey, yo, wait, hold on, whoa. I said, don't nobody want to get hit today? Listen, I said, damn, my head for the hills. Hey, what they say on that Grease movie? Hands up for the toilet paper. Yeah, it's bad.
Oh my God,
Hey,
you dog. I did not have you saying that on my bingo card ever. That's hilarious.
hey, you, but that's
Talk
what
about a
happened.
throwback.
Hey, listen, but that's what happened when you watched him on offense. It's like, what are we doing? And you know what? This right here is a quarterback that's probably a little bit more advanced, right? You put him in a New York Giants uniform, and they probably blow them out last week because
Hmm.
of the way he's playing. And then you switch Jackson Dart and you put in, hey, this is probably where you probably need to be. And it spoils the garbage because you ain't, never mind. But with all that being said, I don't have anything good to say about the Titans outside of Cam Ward is playing pretty well, and the defense doesn't look too bad. They still got some really good players there. Um, of course, you won't be winning this week though, Tennessee.
You know. I mean, Ham, it's a problem when the head coach is consistently showing that there's basic rule knowledge, basic procedures that he's not familiar with. That's a problem. Your thoughts on this game?
Can I take a bye on this one? I mean, the Titans are who they are. I'm not really a big fan of
Yeah,
conceding talent at quarterback in Arizona. That's just me, but
I
Cardinals will
would
win the game.
I would say, Ham, I totally agree with you. I would say this game and this next game that we're about to talk about are the two most unwatchable games of the day. The next one being the Detroit Lions at the Cincinnati Bengals. Just do a simulation of that game.
I'm
What do you
thankful.
want to talk about?
I'm thankful that game 2 of the WNBA Finals will be in play by then.
That's
I can
true.
put my focus to that one.
This is true. This is absolutely true. I mean, they should have had this last week, so I could have watched the Ryder Cup a little more. But I have nothing I want to really say about the Detroit Lions versus the Cincinnati Bengals. The only thing I will say is by sometime this week, there should be no reason why Andy Dalton or Jameis Winston are not in Bengals uniform. No reason. None whatsoever. I don't want to hear about anything else. You could talk about Case Keenum. You could talk. I mean, I wrote them down somewhere. You could talk about Case Keenum. You, this ain't even the list. I don't even know where I wrote down the list. Jimmy G, Drew Lock, Teddy Bridgewater, Russell, Kenny Pickett, Gardner Minshew. Like, you got to get somebody. And the number two options, Andy Dalton and Jameis Winston. Give me the Lions. I'm taking them with the 10.5 points on the road. Germ?
Listen, 10.5 ain't enough.
Tip.
I'm going 20.5. I want utter disrespect. I want to see annihilation. I want to see obliteration. I want to see abomination. I want to see the League of Nations. I want to see. I don't know. I'm running out of nations, but all I'm trying to say, United Nations. I want to see some people get their ass kicked today, and I want to see an ass kicking that's good. God damn it. It's time to kick some ass today. And if I'm the Detroit Lions, every running back on my team, listen, hey, it needs to be Oprah Winfrey for touchdowns today. I need Montgomery. I need Gibbs. I need Amara. I need Raymond. I need Jameson. I need on Dasher, on Dancer, on Blitzen, Comet and Cupid and Donner. And I need all the reindeers to score today, Chief. Let's go. Big blowout. 55-0. I don't even want them to get a first down. They better not gain another yard.
You know what's funny? I was about to say you sound a little like Coach Yost, and then you finished it off.
We blitz all night. Let's go.
That's all right, bro. You talk about the synergy. I literally was like, yo, this dude sounds like Coach Yost right now. That's hilarious. I love it. Fun parlay. You could put Laporta, Amon-Ra, Jameson, Montgomery, and Jahmyr Gibbs as an anytime touchdown for $1, and you gonna walk away with a couple hundred. Shout out to the $1 bets.
Hey, we only do dollar bets. Not me though. I go for the gusto. And listen, I'm trying to get us out the hood. They want to stay. They want to stay where they at. They like their abundance. I'm trying to get abundance plus abundance
Yeah, I
and more
love it.
abundance.
I love it.
I want to get us out the hood. I'm trying to buy sports time radio here in a couple parlays. I'm one away. Dollar turn into $1 million, then we all rich. That's just how I feel.
Hey, oh my gosh. Oh, first of all, one of the most underrated Kendrick songs. But hey, um, yeah. Ham, anything you want to add to the?
Man, Geno Atkins ain't walking through that door.
No, he ain't.
Detroit.
Yeah. All right, next. Shout out to everybody in the comments, bro. The comment section are live. Shout out to Todd Love, Big Shot, Trav, Cat Five Storms. The comment section is popping. I saw our boy Jason Coleman in there. Shout out to him and everything that he does over there with what he's doing. If you're not familiar with it, check him out. Anyways, next on the docket, Tampa Bay
Oh, that's
versus
Big Brian.
Seattle.
Yeah, that's Big Brian.
Yeah. Jason Coleman.
Shout out to nephew.
Yeah, bro, he does a lot of good work. You got to check out his stuff. He does a lot of good work, community
Shout out to
wise.
nephew. But shout out to nephew. Nephew, nice.
I learned a whole lot of stuff. I grew up on the dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My neighbor 2 doors down. Basketball wise, this dude had one of the sharpest basketball IQs for like a 9-year-old that you could ever think, and it just kept growing. Y'all seeing his work now though? So
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Big brother, man.
For sure,
He's gonna be
for sure.
over 94 with us too. He gonna have some stuff to contribute with us this season. So we're looking forward to that.
He welcome on this platform anytime. Next on the docket, you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Seattle Seahawks. Now, this game to me is so intriguing. I'm a little upset that the Buccaneers have so many injuries. Jamel Dean is out, Mike Evans is out, Bucky Irvin is out, and Benjamin Morrison is also out. That's just cornerback depth. You get that's a problem now with Dean and Benjamin Morrison, and Mike Evans and Bucky Irvin is a problem offensively. Couple of things to talk about. Germ, the Seahawks defense has has more interceptions than touchdowns allowed. They're top 5 in every single run category. They got elite red zone defense. They're second in points per game, second in interceptions, and as we talked about, 6th in defending the intermediate stuff. Now the Buccaneers, they've scored 23 points or more in the last 3 or 4 games, but there's no Bucky Irvin today. There's no Mike Evans today. They're going to really have to rely on that defense that's also top 10 in certain categories in their own right. Overall, though, without Mike, without Bucky, I think there's going to be enough of an impact where it's going to make enough of a difference. Give me Seattle. I'm going to stay away from the points because Baker is just not somebody to ever count out. So I'm going to stay away from the 3.5. I'm going to stay away from the 44.5. But I just, analytical wise, I think Seattle is going to win this game. And we keep talking to y'all about this. This Seahawks defense is nothing to play with on all 3 levels. Fellas.
Go ahead here. You're on mute.
I think they were like second in total points allowed or something like that going last week. I don't know how much that changed, but hey, whatever they're doing up there with the new criminal football outfit of the North Pacific Northwest. Whatever they got cracking up there, they got Sam Darnold playing good football again. That's too much to most delight. Even that with David Steele, you get a ball to Baker with the game on the line. Granted, they didn't come through last week. I'm still gonna roll with Baker in them on this one. Good competitive, hard-fought battle, but Tampa with the dub.
Hey, Todd Love showing you some love, Ham. He says, "Best of luck to Curtis's illegitimate grandson."
Well,
what up, True?
Let's just keep it like to the things here that are the most disappointing. No Bucky is like that's like the engine to the offense, and then Mike is like that is the carburetor.
Yeah, great point.
So it's just like it. They got good players, yeah, but is this the week that you're gonna see somebody step up and do more, or is this the week we're going to be trailing all games so they get a lot of catches and targets and things like that for the other players. Um, I like what they have. So I hope we get a really good game today. Still,
Facts, dog.
um,
Facts.
I'm still gonna roll with the Bucks, man. I think the Bucks can beat the Seahawks. I just think they can. I think that they can outscore them. Give
No,
me 24. Give me 24-20.
listen.
If they get to, because 24 is realistically the number that I would say if you feel like you have a good defense and you feel like you can contend and compete on defense, if your offense can score 24 points, you should be able to win some games. I just don't take Seattle as a big offensive threat. I think the red zone and the red area is a little bit of a problem for them because they don't stay consistent with running the ball. Now, this is also the team that you're not going to run the ball great against. So let's see what happens. But I'm gonna roll with the
No,
Bucks
yeah.
because I think they have a lot of good stuff going for them still, and it's just hard to bet against them. That's all.
I think even with all the injury, shout out to you. Styles make fights. We got a good fight. We got a good fight. It's gonna be a good game. There's no
And remember
denying.
what they did to the Eagles in the second half last week.
Yes. Yes. I mean, like I said, if it wasn't for a couple of Baker
Bad
Mayfield
plays.
bringing out that Brett Favre in him, the Eagles could have won that game. Um,
Well, they gave up a special teams touchdown.
and they give up a special team touchdown, which
That
if
is a difference in the game. Just like I
bro,
told Trav last week, no special teams touchdown, bro. That's 7 points off the board. That
mhm.
changes the whole complexion of that game. It was 0-0 when that happened.
No, I completely agree. I completely agree. I again, what we'll elaborate more on all these things tomorrow night, but it's gonna be a fight in Tampa. Tampa will fight. Um, last two games, Washington at the Commanders. Very simple here for me. There's no Terry McLaurin, and I think that's enough. I have major concerns about the Commanders on a defensive side. They're just the communication is not there, the coverage is not there, and the speed that they played at last year, especially towards the tail end of the year, is just not there either. So I have concerns about the Commanders' defense. I think I have confidence they'll figure it out because I think that coaching staff is tremendous. I don't think they're going to figure it out against this offense that's rolling, that has an identity, that knows what they want to do, that has an explosiveness factor to it, that has a we can also control this game factor to it. Offensive line is playing very special. Justin Herbert is lining himself up for potentially his first MVP. I'm going with the Chargers. I'm going Justin Herbert, 225 plus passing yards, and I'm going Omari and Hampton, 80 plus scrimmage yards. That's rushing and receiving. So give me the Chargers money line and give me Justin Herbert 225 plus and give me Omari and Hampton 80 plus rushing. And I'm going to take Germ's cousin for 31 plus rushing yards because that's just too tempting and pretty good odds on the Commander side. Germ,
This is hard.
it
This is a
is
really, really difficult game.
because Jaden Daniels is back.
But it's not just Jaden Daniels. It's can the Commanders play sticky enough man coverage to make this game more contested? That is going to be the key for me. Give me the Commanders. This is hard, but just give me the Commanders.
Okay, I like it. I like it. I'm actually glad you went that way, not because of our pickums, because it highlights where these two teams are at right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but anyways,
Right,
yeah,
you got to bounce back this week, man. Chargers got to bounce back. That's a bad loss last week. That's a bad loss to an 0 for football team. That's one that could cost you the number one playoff seed.
mm. Ham,
That's why I think they win today. They come back, they get the bounce back win. They at home, play better, play well, get the dub.
I love it. I love it. Okay, before we wrap up the show, great job, great show, great pace, love it. Here's my closing thoughts. Um, My 6 games. Miami, the +1.5. Just take the Dolphins -1.5. I'm taking the Colts -6.5. I'm taking the Saints money line. I'm taking Arizona. No, that's a -7.5. I'm taking Arizona -7.5. And I'm going to take the Chargers money line. Oh, we didn't talk about the Bills and the Patriots. Lord have mercy. Hey, real quick, we might go live later on this one, just real quick on Facebook. But this is going to be a very good game. Bills Patriots. If it was in New England, I would lean towards taking the Patriots, but I am definitely taking the Patriots to cover. I think this defense is coming along. I think Drake May is here. I think the Bills, if Ed Oliver can't play, this run defense is completely different. So give me Buffalo to win, but give me New England with the points. Germ?
Give me Buffalo as well. Buffalo,
And
just stay serve, hold serve, y'all.
Cam, any thoughts?
James Cook continue his anytime touchdown streak. What's that? 5 weeks in a row with the Buffalo.
Love it. Love it. All right, fellas, we're about to wrap it up. Any closing thoughts? Any parlays you looking at? I made a couple of them. Keep in mind, Brock Bowers is out. Keep that in mind. I got a 5-leg parlay that I'm putting right here. It's AJ Brown 50+ yards, J.K. Dobbins 40 rushing yards, Tyler Warren 50+ receiving yards, Michael Pittman 40+ receiving yards, and Geno Smith 1+ on the passing touchdown. Something that's one that I like. Again, I'm going Giants. I'm going Saints money line, Dolphins money line, Colts -6.5, Cowboys money line, Seahawks money line, and Chargers money line. Those are my 6. Anything before we get out of here, fellas?
Honestly, that's a good one there. So I ain't got really much else. Listen, y'all, just pay attention to the things that's going on around you and around us in this game, narratives and things of that nature. Because we know the vibes. We know how this
Yeah.
game.
Ham, before you go, I'm gonna highlight a couple comments in here. Big Shot says that Saints Giants should be played on the Home Shopping Network. Trav agreeing with Germ, they not watching these games. Ty Love saying David Njoku endorses Germ So True's message about offensive coordinators. Big Shot one time for Diana Ross. Ty Love, where is the love for Jonathan Taylor? It's there. Believe us, it's there. Jason Coleman in there, Trav, Storms. Shout out to everybody in the comment section. We are sincerely appreciative. And yes, absolutely, Ty Love. Justice for Kyron Lacey. You see the name. RIP. Prayers to his family. Whole different conversation to have on that one. Ham, anything you want to add before we leave?
Yeah, man. Sports 56, man. 2 tweets and a half hour Johnny Radio Star YouTube, gentlemen. Full hour for NFL football conversation. John will be ready to drop his high five as well. I'm not doing the power rankings with that, but I'm just hanging out. But Sports 56, man, you can find us in the App Store, the YouTube, on the live stream, or Twitter, either one. It is what it is, man. News for the 22, the half hour with Johnny Radio. Great fusion. Let's rock.
Enjoy the games, baby. Take us home, True.